Welcome to the Maneater Report. I'm Summer Suarez.
And I'm Caroline Kraft.
And in this episode, we will be introducing the 2026-2027 Maneater Executive Editors. As the 2025-2026 school year ends, the Maneater has selected their next editor-in-chief to be Mary Corkery.
Being the editor-in-chief means that I'm gonna, kind of be the figurehead for the Maneater and represent us in a lot of different situations. Also, as one of the executive editors, I get to do final reads on almost all of our stories and just ensure that everything is running smoothly for the publication internally and externally. I went through the platforming process for editor-in-chief, which is basically making this really long document of everything that you want to incorporate if you were to be editor-in-chief. I ended up writing 23 pages about everything that I wanted to do. And then after that, we had a whole voting process, and then I was elected through that. As I was making my platform, I think that's when I really started to fall in love with the publication. That's when I really started to meet a lot of people and form those connections and things like that.
Alongside being the editor-in-chief, Corkery was tasked with appointing her managing editor.
We have two executive editors at the Maneater, editor-in-chief, and then also our managing editor, who in practice does a lot of similar things to the editor-in-chief. And my managing editor is Mackenzie Schweitzer. She's currently an assistant editor for the Move staff, and I'm so excited to work with her. When I talked to Mackenzie, I could just tell that she cared so much about the publication as a whole, and she really wanted to improve it. And I loved a lot of her ideas. Mackenzie was just kind of like a perfect fit, I feel like.
For the upcoming school year, Corkery has set multiple goals for the Maneater.
I am really passionate about student journalism and how important it is to give students a voice. I know we as student journalists, it's important for us to get that experience, but that's not why we should be here. That's not the purpose of our publication. It's to make sure that the students here feel represented and feel heard. And I want to make sure that the Maneater fulfills that responsibility to the highest degree it can. I want to make sure that we are fully representative of our student body, and I want to make sure that students are able to see our coverage, they're able to read it, they're able to watch it, and it's something that they look forward to or that they feel is an important aspect of their life. And I also want to make sure that our journalists feel valued and welcome, and that the newsroom is a place that they want to be. And I think that if we create that culture within the Maneater, that can help us going forward to be better.
And now we'll hear from the 2026-2027 managing editor, Mackenzie Schweitzer.
The biggest things that I ran on for managing editor was honestly just keeping an uplifting newsroom environment. Mary's platform was very detailed, and I supported most of the things on her platform. I obviously had some objections that I talked about in my interview process, and I think that's kind of the reason that she wanted me on, because what's really important about having two execs is that they're not the same person with the same ideas. So there's a lot of versatility on that end. Mary and I just both have a lot of passion for the publication, and we both have learned a lot from this publication, and we want to continue the momentum next year.
One of the tasks of the executive editors is building a team of section editors, also known as an editorial board.
It was really difficult building the ed board because we wanted to make sure that we had our best foot forward. But I think Mary and I are very, very, very passionate on our board, and we think that it's going to be a wonderful year next year.
Schweitzer has many ideas of how she wants to improve the publication during her tenure.
One of our biggest goals next year is remolding our socials platforms. We think that socials is just a big part of getting engagement onto our website. So we kind of want to rework that completely. And we're looking forward to working with our social editor on getting that started. Other than that, I think that we just want to fine tune a lot of our visuals. Our writing has done very well this year. We've redone the breaking system, and our stories are getting produced a lot faster. So we want to keep that momentum, but also making sure that our visuals are up to par with that and giving our visual sections more credit where the credit is due. I'm excited to just get to know everybody. I'm excited to meet the new freshmen, even the new sophomores, maybe juniors, seniors, I don't know. Who knows? I'm just excited to see what happens. I'm excited to get my little hands on all these stories to edit. I'm excited to fine tune all these pieces to make sure people are passionate in what they're putting out, because the Maneater is just wonderful, especially for underclassmen who don't have newsroom experience. And it's just so beautiful to see your name on print or on digital. So I'm excited to be a part of that process for them.
Schweitzer looks back on work done by the previous executive editors, Alex Grip and Chase Bray.
Because Chase and Alex did so well this year, I think next year is going to be even more crucial to make sure that we're still upholding the image that they've left. They were amazing execs, and I could not have asked for any better ones.
The 2025-2026 managing editor, Alex Gribb, reflects on the importance of having 2 executive editors at the Maneater.
I think that it is such a heavy burden to just have one. If you think about all that our job requires with editing so many stories, directing so many projects, communicating with so many people, it's an impossible job for one person to do. It's almost impossible for two, but you kind of make it work. I also think that there's such a beautiful product that can be made when you're constantly having conversations with another person about ideas, especially when you don't always agree, is just incredibly helpful for such an important role.
Gribb expresses her excitement for both next year's execs and for the publication as a whole.
I think that they are just excellent. I'm such big fans of both of them individually, but even together as a collective unit, they're so strong and smart and talented and funny. And I genuinely could not think of any 2 other people I'd rather have in this position. And I'm incredibly proud of them and what they've already done. And I'm really excited to see what they do next year.
Gribb leaves the execs pieces of advice for their roles and the Maneater as a whole.
I think for Mary and Mackenzie, I want them to obviously challenge themselves, but also understand that part of the changes that they're going to see within themselves aren't just professional, it's personal. And I want them to take those changes in stride and move with the lessons that they're learning with a lot of patience and kindness for themselves and the people around them. And then for the manager specifically, I think that we've set an amazing groundwork this year of kind of the standard that we want to keep. And so just kind of increasing our innovation, increasing what we can do for our staff, seeing what we can grow, what we want to keep consistent, just experimenting a little bit more. I think we're in a spot where we can start doing that now. I think would be really lovely.
Gribb then puts into words what she believes her and Chase's legacy will be.
Love and inspiration. I think that's really what we try to empower every single person we talk to feel about themselves and feel about the Maneater and feel about journalism in general.
From the Maneater Report, this has been Summer Suarez
and Caroline Kraft.